After she was notified about the contamination, Kristen took it upon herself to look into the data. As a scientist, she wanted to be able to draw her own conclusions and discern the facts.
So then I went to Mass DEP and asked for the data. They gave me a huge data dump at the end of December in 2016. In January of 2017, I had gone through enough of the data to realize how dangerous the situation was. I went to the mayor in January of 2017. I went to the city council February 2nd of 2017. WRAFT was formed February 22nd of 2017 because the mayor and the city council could not do enough.
Mello began to understand what was happening in the water, but she had a hard time communicating the true importance and danger of the situation.
Originally, some of the city councilors I went to were receptive. The first time I went to Westfield's mayor about it, he looked at me and said, "Well, I'm not a chemist." And I said, "Well, I am." And that didn't go over well.
After a continuous struggle with the city, Mello took matters into her own hands and formed WRAFT, or Westfield Residents Advocating for Themselves. WRAFT was formed with the goal of advocating for the rights of community members affected by PFAS contamination. Even though city and government officials were taking action against PFAS, residents were only informed of the issue when it was deemed to be a high enough risk to the community. WRAFT strives to fill in those knowledge gaps by advocating at the local and state level, holding educational events, and pushing to make PFAS information publicly available. Despite their well-meaning intentions, WRAFT faced a significant amount of pushback from local community members and officials who felt that the situation was under control.
For a while, people said we were crazy. We were called the sweater mafia, the sweater brigade, the water mafia. Because when you're a very intelligent, educated woman, if you wear tailored suits, people get threatened. If you wear sweaters, they think you're a librarian. So we softened the message with the sweater. But when people don't want to hear what you have to say, they'll find whatever they can to make fun of you. And they did on the public record several times, even after being elected. But it turns out that everything I said turned out to be true. One city councilor who responded to PFAS originally saying, "Well, yeah, but I eat Cheetos, so how are those, relate the toxicity to Cheetos?" Right, and the toxicologist just looked at him like, "You're kidding, right?"
There is such a level of injustice and abuse that is happening to us at every single level of organization, down from the local level all the way to the federal level. And if anything, my role in WRAFT is to bear witness to the abuse that is continually perpetrated against us and to outlive all of the people who are enacting the abuse so that when they're gone, I still remember what happened.
Despite WRAFT's concern and outreach efforts about the water safety in Westfield, many residents were either unaware or uninterested.
There's a lot of residents who, believe it or not, still have their head in the sand. People that live right in this direct area. Somehow they don't want to know about it. They don't want to hear anything about it.
As the information surrounding Westfield's water became more public and accurate, residents and the city realized the weight of this issue.
Now that everyone realizes that, the GAC filter doesn't remove all the PFAS, there are thousands and thousands and thousands of types of PFAS, and regulating 6 is a good start. But, that compliance is not the same as safety.
The source of the contamination was particularly contentious. The military base holds important for many people, so hearing about this was hard to grasp for some.
The base is such an integral part of Westfield, for good or for bad, and people have a lot of ties to the base. Their fathers were reserve, their uncles, their brothers.
Although WRAFT had a difficult start as a nonprofit, they have worked diligently to protect their community. In the last couple of years, they have received grants to study the health effects of PFAS on Westfield residents. And even manage air quality monitors to keep tabs on other environmental hazards in the area. Their work has boosted awareness of PFAS contamination in Westfield and has helped to change the minds of people who were once opposed to taking action against the issue.
A lot of what I focus on now is just trying to continue to push and raise the awareness of the effects of this chemical and tell the story of Westfield, represent Westfield wherever I go, and to continue to get all eyes on this community.
And so as long as there is something I can do to make it better, I will.
They continue to collaborate with the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection Air Monitoring Network and with other organizations, such as the Nantucket PFAS Well Project.